And now back to Around the Kit with Joe Gansas.
Guys, we are live, 646-787-8027. We finally got our guest on the line. Guys, it gives me great pleasure to welcome to Around the Kit, Geoff Tate. Geoff, Joe Gansas, Around the Kit. How are you, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, Joe. How are you?
Geoff, I apologize for the mix-up in the numbers. Sometimes it happens. The main thing is you're here now, and I appreciate your time, bro. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Doing really good.
Good. We are pumped to have you. Geoff, I've been a fan since '83, so just bear with me. It's so happy to have you. How's it going? And how's tonight with this excitement with these two legendary singers with you? You know, how's that going, with you and Blaze and Tim, being around each other?
Oh, it's madness. It's hectic. You hear the phones ringing? It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's today's the first show, so we've been putting the show together, and we just got off the rehearsal stage rehearsing for the opening night tonight. So we go on in a few minutes. So everybody's excited. We're having a lot of laughs, having a good time out here. It's a great bunch of people, and really excited for this tour.
Great, Geoff. It's so nice to give you some time. Guys, we are live with Geoff Tate. Geoff, I want to go back a little bit. I'll get to everything, but I like to paint a picture on my show. Go back a little bit. You're born in the late 50s in Germany. You come here pretty much, really early. What was going on in a young Geoff Tate, in life and music, and especially singing, influences growing up?
Elvis, baby. It's all about Elvis. Yes, I came to America as a young immigrant and found a livelihood here that's worked for me, and had some wonderful musical experiences along the way. I started out as a very young child, 9 years old, learning music. I studied piano and voice and played trumpet in school orchestra all growing up, and until I started composing my own music when I was in high school age, and heavily influenced by the what you'd call progressive rock of the time, and was lucky enough and fortunate enough to find a group of people that had the dedication to the craft to form our own record label, and then that started us making records and led to where I'm at today. So I've had a very, very great and wonderful career, and I've been very fortunate to have met some incredible people along the way that have been very helpful in my musical development and given me a lot of encouragement.
Guys, we are talking to the great Geoff Tate. Geoff, I'm a drummer, but you are my number one musician of all time. There's something about you that I've always taken to, and I want to say thank you before we get going. It just, whenever I see you and whenever I watch videos, there's something in Joe Gansas that comes out and influence. Do you think it's good to have them in life? And do you have the same things I have with other people?
Well, yeah, I think it's kind of normal to have people that you admire and people that have influenced you in your art or your craft, whatever it is that you do in life. Usually there's a someone or a group of people that kind of set you on your path, that you find yourself on. So yeah, it's not unusual at all. And I have lists of people that have inspired me throughout the years, not just only musical influences, but writers and film directors and politicians and science fiction writers, especially. Very influenced by my early interest in science fiction writing, philosophy, you name it. There's just lots of interesting ideas in the world, and the older I get, my interests change, as all people. Interests change, I think, as time goes by. But you zone in at different times to different things, and you find ways of bringing those influences into your work.
Absolutely. Geoff, making mistakes not only in music, in life. Do you think this is going to sound funny, it's almost vital that we make mistakes in life, Geoff Tate, because they push us to achieve our goal in a way?
Oh, yeah, I think they can. Yeah, definitely. You know, you're not born knowing how to do everything that you try to do, and if you don't try doing it, and you know, you'll never. If you don't try something because you're afraid of failing, then you'll just live a life of incomplete insanity because you'll drive yourself crazy. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
With regret.
Absolutely, yeah. I just always, because you know, everybody, we want to live a perfect life, but it's impossible, Geoff. I think mistakes are good for us, and you know, I continue to make mistakes every day, and I just wanted to ask you about that. That's all. But I appreciate the answer.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
you know,
you know, whose definition of perfect would you use? You know,
right.
Perfect life is, I think, different for each person too.
Absolutely, great stuff. You know, I want to talk about, you know, the early days of Queensryche, but take me back to a band called Babylon. What was going on there?
Babylon was a band that was in the late '70s, and we were heavily influenced by again progressive rock music at the time. It's a band that there were 4 of us. Joe Lowry, I think, was on bass guitar, myself on keyboards and vocals, and what was the guitar player's name? Corey something was the guitar player. And we went to a couple of drummers at the time. Mark Welling ended up being our permanent drummer. And we were writing original music and really challenging progressive stuff with, it was almost like you'd need a calculator, you know, in your hand in order to keep track of where you were within the song. It was very difficult, very difficult stuff to play. But it was very, very fun. And we never went anywhere with it, though. I think it was more of a project that we just all wanted to do for art's sake. And, you know, nothing from the commerce side ever went forward with it.
Absolutely. And then later on, of course, we get, you know, Myth is formed and even the Mob, and then we get to eventually Queensryche. And the last 35 years, to me, has been a pleasure, just my favorite band of all time. You know, there's so much to talk about Queensryche. I know you have to play in a little while. I don't want to get everything with you. But, you know, since the breakup, and I don't want to get into personal stuff. It's not my business, Geoff. But since the breakup, you know, maybe 4 years ago, you know, what have you learned about Geoff Tate that maybe you didn't know before the breakup?
Well, Joe, that's all in my book. Coming out someday.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll wait for the book.
You know, it's been a really strange and weird journey the last 4 years of kind of separating myself from something that I, you know, lived and breathed, you know, for many years. You know, I think you're talking about mistakes. I think a mistake I made is that I spent, you know, 35 years signing everything that I did Queensryche rather than signing it with my own name.
Yeah.
So therefore, you know, my own name is not as well known as Queensryche is, you know. So that's something that I never would have really foreseen. But then again, I didn't really foresee the end of the band either. So, you know, you live and you learn.
Yeah, and it takes me to my next question. Guys, we're talking to the legendary Geoff Tate. He's been so nice to give me some time before his show tonight in Virginia. My next question, is the business always a business, and do you have to treat it like a business?
Yeah, I suppose it is a business, you know, but it's a creative business, and the music business is a crazy one. It's just crazy with crazy people. And people that do things in completely oddball ways, and you know, there's no real what other people in business. Their model is not like a music business model at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, music people are creative people, and you know, they're kind of off on their own tangents. So you have to learn how to navigate those crazy, stormy waters, you know. But again, it's difficult to define, you know, what a business is and how it should be. There's lots of people in this music business that are, you know, very successful at what they do, but you wouldn't really, you know, look at their business model and say, oh yeah, that's, you know, I can tell that they went to Yale in Yale Business School, and they and they use this pattern or this economic you know, algorithm, you know, that there's success there. So there you go.
Absolutely. You know, Geoff, I always try to portray myself, not only with my show, but in life, especially with my daughter, who is my world, with honesty. I think being honest in life in whatever we do is important. And if people don't like that, I think there becomes a little hesitation and a little problem with that. How important is it for a Geoff Tate to always be honest with himself and his music?
Very important. Yeah, well, I agree with you. Honesty is very important to any relationship. You know, one that is built on dishonesty doesn't really have much of a chance of survival for any length of time. And especially with raising children, I think that honesty is the best policy as well. When you're honest about how you feel about something, you know, you can communicate with the other person completely. You know, if there's dishonesty involved, then nobody really knows what's going on. You know, even you, if you're being dishonest with how you feel about something. So right. It's a no-win situation. You know.
Absolutely. Geoff, over the years, like everybody in life, myself, I've been playing drums 34 years. I'm not the same drummer I was 34 years ago. I might be better or not. You know, I think with a voice, somebody's voice is the only natural instrument. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. You know, over the years, your voice is different now than it was years ago. Let's not lie. That's the truth. I think it has matured so maturely, and how do you deal with your voice today, you know, and how you present it? Because I think it's so mature at this age in your life and where you are.
You know, honestly, Joe, I never even think about that kind of thing.
Right.
It's not something that I stay up and think about at night. You know, to me, the voice is an instrument, and you use what you have in the way that works for what it is you're trying to do within the song context, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, over the years, I've experimented a lot with my voice and vocal arrangements and musical arrangements and songcraft in general. And I'm not so much into repeating myself as I am into trying new things and, you know, staying, well, I don't know how to describe it. I'm just interested in presenting what I'm interested in. Put it that way.
Keeping things fresh, like to keep things fresh.
Yeah, keeping things fresh. And, you know, the world moves. The world's changing. It's liquid. And I feel very fortunate that I'm in a position to comment, you know, on that. And I comment with the music I write.
Great stuff. And that is your voice, the music, for all these years. And we are so blessed that over the last 35 years, I know for myself that I've had a chance to listen to everything from the EP to this great new album called Resurrection, guys, Operation Mindcrime. Tremendous album. I got so many favorite tracks on there. Talk to me about Trinity. I remember years ago hearing Tate, Halford, and Dickinson. I guess for whatever reason it didn't happen. Was it always on the back burner to have a Trinity, or this just came up out of the wing again?
It came up completely from working on the song Taking on the World. It's a song on my new record, Resurrection. Blaze and Ripper both sang on it. And we had such a good time working together that we decided that it would be great fun to go out on the road and do a short tour. And so here we are. Tonight's the first night. And it's been so fun. I've kind of forgotten how fun it can be to, have a band and a bunch of people that get along so well, and everybody's, cracking jokes and laughing, and there's a lot of laughing going on, a lot of fun, and that's really refreshing for me.
Geoff, I made this saying about 5 years ago. I actually made a shirt. It goes like this: surround yourself with positive people. Don't let negative people surround you. Your thoughts on that quote?
Yeah, where can I buy that T-shirt?
You look like a large or extra large, if I can.
I'm a medium.
I will get you one, brother. Your thoughts on those kind of statements? We should always surround ourselves with positive people. I think it's important for myself because I don't want to become a negative.
It's really easy to be negative. Much easier to be negative than positive, really. And it's so easy to have negative people bring you down. So many people get caught up in, their dreams not coming true and their hardships of their life. They let those things get to them and bring them and strangle them. Yeah. And being around positive, uplifting people that are looking for solutions rather than complaining about problems is incredibly refreshing. And especially when it comes to music, because music is an art. It's all emotional, and you don't want to be experiencing negative emotions all the time. Now and then it's interesting to write about, something, but not to live and breathe it every day.
Absolutely. Guys, we're talking to the great Geoff Tate. He's got to go on stage in about a half hour. Geoff, do you like knowing what tomorrow brings, or you don't want to know what tomorrow brings? You like to just take it day by day?
I like to have an outline, a rough outline of, I know I have to travel such and such a city and I have a flight arranged, but I don't need to know what flight it is,
Right.
I just know that I have to get up at a certain time to make it to the airport to catch some flight that I'll look at 20 minutes before the flight to figure out what the number is. You know what I'm saying? I like a loose plan.
Nice. Geoff, talk to me about this beautiful woman, Susan, your wife. I see her on social media. She's always portraying herself with professionalism, and she's always talking about you. How important is it to have someone like that on your side, and next to you all a sign that says, Geoff Tate, he's my guy. I support him.
Oh, it's very important. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's a powerhouse person with a huge heart that is very giving and really helpful to people she loves. And she takes care of a lot of people, not just our family, but our friends and acquaintances, people we associate with in our business world. She's always there to help people through tough times, good times. She's great with advice and coming up with solutions, to challenges. And she never gives up. She's always positive and always open. She's the best person I've ever known in my life.
I tell you, bro, she is. I'm friends with her on Facebook. She's always so nice to me. She's always professional. What a person to be around. I got to tell you, you're a lucky man, and your daughters are beautiful. I just got to say that, I have a daughter myself. Your children are beautiful, and God bless them all.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. I appreciate that.
Great stuff. I got two more, and then I'll let you go. I know you're playing tonight. I don't want to get into anything. It's not my place, but Chris DeGarmo, I know he's a pilot now, and we have to respect that. But can you never say never of maybe doing something with him, or you never know what happens in life?
Oh yeah, you never know what happens. Yeah, I'd never say never. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely. Great stuff. And Geoff, my last question, if I can, and again, you've been through so much in your life, especially with the whole stuff with the guys in Queensrÿche. It's not my place. But my last question is this, and it's probably the hardest question. So if you hang up on me, I'll understand. Geoff, let's not take that. Let's take people in your life that you've been around. We're not going to give them names. So whatever happens, you're with them through marriages and death and childs being born and families. You're with them for a long time. And then all of a sudden, these people are not in your life. Geoff Tate, tomorrow, if these people came to your doorstep and said, Geoff, we're sorry, we're wrong, how do you think you can handle that? And could that be something that you would, maybe even warrant that stuff?
Are you talking about if the band could get back together, would I participate?
No, I'm just saying, because we all make mistakes in life. It goes back to mistakes. If these people came to you and said, Geoff, we were wrong, almost like a man saying, I was wrong, can you accept that? Is that something maybe, one day you could accept?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, like you said, people make mistakes. They go crazy,
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when you drink, you do really stupid things, and then you wake up the next day and all your friends go, hey, did you know what you did?
Yeah.
And you feel so foolish, but, and what can you do? You just have to ask your friends forgiveness and move on with life. And yeah, it's understandable. People go crazy sometimes, and they make the wrong decision. They do the wrong thing,
Mm-hmm.
Blinded sometimes.
What a great song, Blinded. My God, just had to throw it in there. Geoff, I can't thank you so much. What can we expect tonight in the set list? Some old stuff, some new stuff? What's going on?
Oh, yeah. It's a crazy set list of songs that we've all been part of, songs that people grew up with, songs. It's funny that, with Blaze and Ripper, they know all my songs, and I know all their songs. Just,
sure.
It's crazy. There's not one I don't know of, When they were putting the set list together, I knew all the songs, So it's crazy. It's a good time show of kind of reliving your past. And if you're into metal music, this is where it's at. This is the old school, old time metal.
Great stuff. Geoff Tate, I can't thank you so much for this time. At the end of my interviews, I ask my guests one question, and it's an honest answer. I do not dispute it or debate it. Geoff Tate, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this interview, honestly?
Just using numbers?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it's 8. Solid.
Geoff, 8 is always good from you. I've been with you since the EP. I've seen you so many times. And to you, and I'm a drummer. I have so many great drummers. You are my favorite musician of all times. My family thinks I'm crazy. Every time I see you, it's like I'm looking at Jesus Christ. But thank you for so many years, Geoff. It's just, I don't consider you a role model or my hero. I think that's for different people. I don't know, like my father who's passed on, he was my role model. But something you've done to me will always be with me, and I can't thank you enough, Geoff Tate.
Oh, my pleasure, Joe. Good interview. And when I say a solid 8, I mean that from my participation in it, not yours. You're great at this. You ask wonderful questions, and it's very refreshing, actually, because a lot of interviews are kind of like reading the questions off a list, kind of thing, where it's not like a conversation. It's just more of a question and answer thing. Like they could have just sent it to me in the mail, And this is more like a conversation, so that's always good. It's just that right before the show, it's a little difficult to concentrate on talking about myself when I got to go out and share a stage with two epic singers like Ripper and Blaze. It's a little mind-boggling, actually. I'm sitting here looking at Ripper right now, and he's warming up and so confident, and he's not even breaking a sweat.
Yeah. Geoff, I'll quote 30 years ago of Rage for Order. I won't say goodbye. I'll just say I love you.
Thanks, Joe. Good talking with you, and hopefully we talk again soon.
Have a great show. Thanks so much, man.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Guys, that was the great Geoff Tate. I'm still like a little shaken up, but just great stuff. I can't thank you. He was so gracious. Check out everything they do. The new Operation Mindcrime album Resurrection. He's playing all over. They'll be playing in New York. Check all the dates on Operation Mindcrime. Once again, thank you to the great Geoff Tate.